Good morning, everyone. Trigan here. Actually, it's afternoon, whatever. Welcome back to Railroader. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's have some fun. All right, we're back here with Growler's Imperial Railroad. We just dropped this guy off to be repaired. Oh, and I don't know if you guys noticed before, if we do the inspect on this, this is a 10-wheeler, which is what we're running in Transport Fever right now, is 10-wheelers. And this, come on, wrong one. This is a mogul, which we aren't running any of right now in Transport Fever. All right, so it's time to start the passenger service. Couple our engine to the coach. All right, let's get this thing going. Can I? There we go. I was going to say, I was not sat down all the way. All right, we want to go forward. Let's get the brake off. Let's blow the whistle. And let's start moving. I really wish, and I've checked we don't, I really wish that we had hotkeys with this. I'm so used to using the hotkeys in Derail Valley most of the time. And if I'm not using the hotkeys, then I'm using the physical controls. There we go. And I just don't have them here. There's no hotkeys for the accelerator or the reverser or the brakes or anything. Okay. One thing I did discover between episodes is, oh, that's right, gotta flip that one, is that you have to be going at a certain speed. They say, you know, you should be under 3 miles an hour when you bump the couplers together. What they do not mention is you need to be going more than 1 mile per hour because, oh, well, why did that work so nice? Usually I struggle with that. Okay, we are coupled to it. We hooked up the brake line and opened the angle cocks. Ready to pull. We're going to move the train to the station at Whittier. That's down the track a bit. And let's go to Whittier. Okay. I love the fact that we can do passengers. I wish that we had actual physical NPCs in the game. Hopefully that's something that the game will eventually have. All right. Forward. Brake is already off. Hang on here. This brake is probably on. No, it's not. Really? This thing did not have any brakes on? Okay. Well, I guess we don't need to worry about that then. I mean, overall, the fact, this is a lot more chill experience than trying to do the steam locomotives on Derail Valley, which is really nice. I mean, one, I like how much more open the cab of this locomotive is. You know, I've got this great big window here. I can lean out. You know, this is a lot nicer than that black pit of a cab on the S282. Is that what it is in Derail Valley? You know, we just had those little oval or little round, I don't remember if they're round or oval, windows in the front. This, we've got these doors we can open up and have a great view, or just walk out the front if we want to. All right, let's adjust our reverser a bit. Give it a little bit more speed. This is not a long trip. We're just going right up here around the corner. Oh, and right now we're passing the sawmill. You see, they've got their own sort of specialty cars right there for hauling wood. They look very strange. It looks like they all have just one set of trucks underneath the middle of the car, and I'm pretty sure that's not the way it is. I think we can lay off. Yeah, we're going almost 30 now. The line tracks have a max speed of 35, though there are locations that slow down just a little bit here. There are places that the speed limit is lower because of sharp curve or whatever. And this is our station we're going to right up there. And The switches have on the main line. The switches on the main line have a speed limit of 25, and then the switches on the side tracks have a speed limit of 15. So I've been able to go over the switches without really paying attention to them on the main line, and generally you don't have room to get up to too high a speed on the little sidings. All right, let's switch to this view. It'll be easier to get this lined up well. Okay, let's slow down. Let's use the right brake. This is the train brake, or this is the train brake up here. This is the independent. Okay, that should do it. Then we got to put the independent brake back on. I don't know why I can't say this today, and turn that off. Otherwise, it'll just sit there and lose pressure. Okay, so let's get back to this. What do you want us to do? Oh, proceed west. Okay, stop your train. Yeah, I did that. I should have been hitting next this whole time. I wasn't. Hover your mouse over the agent's window. Okay. You know what? I'm going to get out. Hey, here's our agent's window. He has a nice little clock here. Is that accurate? No, it's not. Okay. Well, that's too bad. We can click to open the window, which just gives us a bigger view of the same thing. You can see there are 30 passengers waiting here and 0 active freight waybills. So there's no freight here to go out. Check Ella on the passenger's car destination. So we open it up. And we see all 30 of these people want to go to Ella. Okay. I checked that. Oh no, they want me to check the checkbox. So we're going to go here. We're going to go to inspect, go to passengers, and tell we're going to run this train to Ella. And as you can see, now we've got passengers boarding. Inspect back on my train, though. There we go. All right. Actually, know what? I should leave it on here so I can watch them load. They wanted us to carry at least 10 passengers. I'm going to wait till all of them are on board. And then we will head out to Ella. Well, that didn't actually take very long. Yep, we seem to be all set on this. Go back to here. See, we're going to go full forward. We're going to turn our brakes off. And we'll get going again. There's actually, they give you, there's nothing controlling. We're not going to get penalized. We're not going to get any points taken off or pay a fine or anything like that for speeding or for failing to blow whistles or whatever. But they do tell you in the tutorial, they tell you when you're getting ready to move, blow the whistle so people around you know the train's going to move. And there's also a particular pattern you're supposed to blow on the whistle when you're crossing streets. When you got a level crossing, that's supposed to be long, long, short, and then one last long as you're actually crossing the street. So far, I have not done a very good job of timing that, so I'm hitting that last long when I'm supposed to. This is a bit of a long stretch of track between Whittier and Ella, but nowhere near what it would be for a job we would do on Derail Valley. We also do have a map. I don't know if I've shown you that yet. You can see there's our number 2 train, and I believe that's our view. And there's Whittier where we just left. Nope, left click to move the map. You see here we got 2. I love this. This is something we don't have on Derail Valley. I really wish we did. But here we have 2 reduced speed limits. We can only do 30, not 35. Which we're only doing 30 right now anyways. I'm going to turn that all the way off. We're going to be in a bit of a downhill grade here, so I'm going to need to apply brakes at some point. But there you see is Ella right over here. So all Ella has, industry-wise, is a farm. So, and I think there are other places, if they don't have their own siding, they'll actually deliver cars straight to Ella if we're supposed to do something with them. There's a little track there next to the station that serves that purpose. And there's one at Whittier, too. So Whittier has, 3 industries, including the logging. We've got a factory of some sort here and some sort of oil company right here on these two sidings. Nope, I don't know if you could see that. I've passed it now. There was a little white sign with a W on it, which means you're coming up on a crossing and you're going to need to blow your horn. Although I don't know if we're going to have to cross this. Let's go to our outside view here. Oh, no, I came to a complete stop. I didn't mean to. I meant to just slow us down enough where we wouldn't shoot past. What's going on here? Oh, I haven't fixed this. That's what's going on. I'm wondering why I wasn't moving. Yeah, I had that all the way down to almost to center, to neutral on the reverser while we were coasting. We do not have to keep that locked to the train. We can't just look at something. Okay, now this should just automatically start unloading. So we managed to get 31 people there. And it does look like, you know, the number of passengers sort of builds up over the day. So I suppose if you wanted to play out the whole day, or you can skip, like, you know, periods. You can skip 15 minutes, an hour, or 6 hours. Plus, if you waited a while, maybe the passengers would build up at the stations and make it really worthwhile. Unfortunately, a ticket between Whittier and Ella is $1. So we're not making big bucks here. We are not going to make $1 million like we did on Derail Valley. Oh, and here's the section talking about speed limits. And here, stop passenger car in front of Ella Station. Yeah, I really should be paying more attention to this or I'm going to screw myself up. Check Whittier's passenger destinations. So here we can see, left click. We can see we got 25 people going to Whittier. So we'll come back to the inspect on this. I already had that selected. And hit that. And now we're going to start loading up those passengers. How many we got here? Looks like maybe 25, 30 altogether. And we'll hit next on this. Yeah, I'm definitely just as spacey today as I was last video we did. I don't remember what video it was. I was all spacey, whether it was the last one of this game or whether it was Transport Fever yesterday. Yeah, it didn't amount to a whole lot, $1 each. They do say somewhere, I don't know if it's in this or later on, that you know, different destinations are going to make you more money. I think we're full. All right, go back to this. Next. Finish. Now they're telling me to do an end run around, which is going to mean pulling up here onto the siding and putting the, or pulling up here and yeah, on siding or something and putting the passenger coach and then running all the way down to the end, getting on the other track, coming back, and then hooking up. I'm not going to do all of that. The hell with that. I'm just going to push it backwards. Why would I want to do all of that when I can just push the train from the front? It's not like there's a turntable where I can actually turn the locomotive around. We're going to be running more or less backwards no matter what we do. All right. But at least we can do this, and we can peek out the side so we can see a little bit better. I just remembered something. Do I need to check the freight service before we leave here? Next. Here in Ella. Yes, they want me to check the freight service here. Oh my goodness. All right, let's stop before we get too far. Ella House Track is compulsory freight service, is part of your railroad's basic presence in the towns it passes through. It means customers in the area that don't have their own siding. This is what I was telling you about. They'll send stuff there to the house track if they need stuff shipped out, and then we have to pick that up and take it. or freight house. So none of that. Let's look at some more options for your first contracts. Yeah, we don't have to do any of this while we're here. Okay. I remember doing this now. There we go. So let's go ahead and get moving again. What this is telling us shortly is that there are these different businesses. In order to take freight from them, we have the compulsory freight, which is stuff the town sends to us. They don't have their own sidings. But the bigger places, the farm here in Ella, the two businesses that I showed you on the sidings. Well, I'll pull it up. These two right here. There's an oil company here and I don't remember what this business is here, but these two have their own sidings. All three of these, and I presume the sawmill as well, you can take contracts with. In which case, they'll, cars belonging to the customer will show up, or belonging to a different railroad will show up either at our exchange track, darn it, at our exchange track down here, that's our exchange track, or it'll show up or be at their own siding, and then we'll need to take those. But those we actually have to take a contract for. So we'll go to next. Establish a contract with at least one customer. So to do that, let's go to the company window and go to locations, and Whittier. Well, let's take here at Ella first, since we're just leaving Ella. Let me get us moving a little bit better. So Ella Station, we've got Ella Farm Supply. That's the only business there in Ella. You can see right now we have no contract, but we've got enough of a reputation that we could get a tier 1 contract, i.e. no reputation. So there we go. We've taken our first contract. Now, tomorrow, when it fills this contract, we'll have cars that need to be delivered to there, and we get paid for doing that. And that's how we're going to make our money. Return trip. Yeah, we're turning our passenger. Well, yeah, I already did this. Except I forgot to blow the whistle. Whoops. There's first customer contract. That's just a summary. And then we need to sleep until next morning so we can do that. I'm going to take all of these contracts. There's the heating oil. We're going to take tier 1 there. And Stenzel Manufacturing. So it doesn't really say what kind of... They just make stuff. Okay, tomorrow, tier 1. And I think you can change the time for this. Yeah, right here. Interchange served. I don't want it to serve at 6 a.m. Let's serve it at 8 a.m. Because it's still dark at 6 a.m. I don't want to be trying to maneuver this stupid train around in the dark. Alright. So we are, in fact, moving now. 25. This is an uphill climb heading back to Whittier, so we're going to have to keep a little bit of power on to keep moving. I went to adjust the throttle while we were climbing up the hill to get here. That wrong one. There we go. Nope, put that on. And I did that. I clicked on this by accident and hit the reverser all the way into forward while we were going backwards. I was afraid I damaged something, but it says our locomotive condition is still good, so still 100%. How are we doing here? Okay, we're still unloading passengers. So this will make us a little bit more money. It's not going to make us a ton of money. Well, that's a nice bridge over there. If I were a real civil engineer, I'd do a bridge review. He should play this game just so he can give us a bridge review. Sorry. Yeah, so after this, once we finish unloading, I'm going to go back to our service area, and then we'll sleep for the night. Okay, we are back at Whittier. I am not going to disconnect this for right now. I'm going to wait and see. So we're going to go up here and click on this and say sleep until 8 a.m. And then we watch the time go by somewhat jerkily. And it is now 8 a.m. So let's go ahead and on our overhead, We're going to scroll all the way back here to our interchange. And here you can see we've got 5 cars to be delivered. So let's hit tab on these. So this is going to the Ella Farm. This is going to Ella Farm. Okay, that's cool. This is going to Stenzel Manufacturing. This is going to Stenzel. And this is going to the heating oil company. So that all works good. Let's see. Okay, I had to think this through a bit to figure out how I wanted to put this stuff together. Because it matters when you're going to be making the deliveries, because this is like taking multiple jobs on Derail Valley, because, you know, we've got 2 cars to go to one place, 2 cars to go to another place, and then the tank goes to a 3rd place. So I think what we're going to do is this. Actually, let me pay attention to backing these things together before I run into something. I think 2 would be fine. All right, there we go. We are hooked up to them. Now we need to spot our first customer car or customer, whatever. We need to load this thing where it's supposed to be, or whatever you never mind. You know what I mean? I'm not going to disconnect this because I'm going to pick up more passengers and make us a little bit more money as we go. Oh, goodness. Come on. There we go. Just going to get the right angle on this, I guess, in order to... See, there we go. It's so hard to get. Oh, we got it, though. Okay, cool. So that's all connected. I need to release your parking brake. I doubt any of the others have parking brakes on. No. No. Okay, yeah, they're all good. I wonder what the caboose does, if anything. Or is it just there for looks or something? All right, we're all hooked up. So what we're going to do here is this. Let's first get in our seat here. There we go. So cool. Let's get back on forward. Brakes are off. And we're ready to move. This thing is a lot slower accelerating with all these cars attached. No, I've got this at the reverser at 50 right now. I think we're doing okay. I had to push the power up a long ways to get us accelerating, but we're going now. All right, let's get the power off here. We're going to need to be slowing down here very soon. Actually, I think I will start slowing us down now. Get us down to about 10 as we approach. That may have been a little bit too soon. Give it a little power to keep us chugging at 10 as we come up to the, what you call it here. Say, I sort of made it. Blowing the whistle as we cross. Okay, do that. There we go. Not too bad. We're a little bit beyond it, but okay. So let's go ahead and get out. Let's come on, get out. There we go. Let's set this to Ella, so people will start loading. 6 active freight waybills in the area. Oh, that includes the ones we picked up. Okay. Let's look at this real quick, though. So, this is our... I'm pretty sure this is our supply wagon with the repair parts. So, apparently we're out of repair parts. That's sad. And these are the ones we're looking at here, yeah. Yep, that's those 5 cars. Okay, so we are going to disconnect. Let's set the parking brake on that, or the manual brake. Turn this off. We'll disconnect the knuckle. I'm not worried about closing the pipe on the passenger car. And now we're going to do an end run around all of this and hook up to the tank wagon in the back there, so we can bring it up to here. It is a long way to where these tracks reconverge here. I do wonder, though, with so much single track on here, I mean, you know, supposedly we have AI crews, so we can have multiple trains running, us driving one and a AI crew driving another, or two AI crews. How does it, and there's no signals or anything to indicate a track is occupied. So how does it handle the sections of single track? I'm very curious to know how this is going to happen here. It looks like our passenger train is ready to go. Stop beyond the switch. Flip the switch. And now we can go ahead and go get the tanker. There we go. Perfect. Go ahead and set that. And then we can go out the front, which I absolutely love. And we'll hook these guys up here. And we'll disconnect him from the rest of things here. Close that. Close that. Disconnect the knuckle. Yeah, I do find it amusing that the sounds seem to be identical, and sometimes at least to what Derail Valley did have originally. I don't know if they're using the same sounds right now, but the sound of the compressor running right there sounds just like the compressor on the steam engine in Derail Valley. Okay, let's get out of here. Reverse, and we'll head back to this switch back here and get over onto this track. Release our brake. We're already set to go forward. Now, and actually, one nice thing is, because this, you know, works no matter where I'm at, I can come over here and look out this window where we can actually see where we're going. Oops. Possibly we should open the window instead of just sticking our head through the glass. We don't need to be going super fast here. I think 10 will do us. I think going up into manufacturing is uphill. Yeah, you can see it's uphill there. But this is just normal. Let's go to the outside view. Follow our locomotive here. Turn on this stuff. Yeah, and we can see that's where it wants it parked, right there. This looks like it's uphill too. We'll put on some steam then. Alright, that should be plenty. We just need to get into the spot. Perfect. Okay, and there we just got paid $64 for delivering that. That does not seem like a lot of money, but perhaps in 1900 or whatever year it is, that was good money. Do we have a calendar here? I don't see one. I wonder. So I did get the impression that we would, you know, get access to newer locomotives as time passed. But maybe I'm wrong on there. Maybe it's just a matter of how much money we have to purchase them. All right, guys. We are out of time for today, so the rest of the train is going to have to wait until the next video. So that's it for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, please remember to tickle that thumbs up button. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.